stems from this incredible gift that I got on my birthday. So I just kind of felt bad because I didn't have a really good recall, and I know there was more that I would have remembered and certainly written down and so forth. I just wanted to hear like what else happened that night, like as much of the details as they can offer from that incredible travel that night.
That's a great question, and I'm happy to answer. Let me check in. I'm seeing that there was a portal that was created here that transported us. So it wasn't like we had to do like the regular astral travel. We got transported immediately to our home planet of origin. And I think maybe that's why I don't remember a lot of the details myself, is because it happened really fast. You guys went together and I came separately. That's what I'm seeing. Does that confirm with you?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm seeing that you guys arrived first. I'm trying to see. We were in the middle of some sort of it was actually kind of it was kind of like a landing platform of some sort. I'm seeing a lot of blues and grays and magentas, and I'm seeing a lot of gray for some reason. I'm not sure why. I think it maybe is a platform color. But then I'm also seeing the skies that were kind of blues and magentas. I'm not seeing the pools of water nearby, but I am seeing some sort of a crystal structure. I arrived a little bit later. I was in some sort of a light ship. Maybe not light in color, but it was a light ship. It was more like a personal sized ship, not a big mothership. It was almost like I created my own kind of Merkaba. It looked like a starship. It didn't look like a Merkaba shape. I'm seeing there were some other individuals there too. I think some Arcturian star family that joined us, beings that were connected to all of our families from Pitolla. They were quite excited to see us. As much excitement as an Arcturian can show, I guess. But they seemed pretty happy. It was almost like it was an initiation for Powers. It was actually, the meeting was mainly about you, Powers, but because Christie and I are your closest relatives, here, we joined you for the party. Okay. But it looks like sort of like a celebration, but not like in the way you would see on Earth. Some of our Arcturian family were drawing different sacred geometry with light and color, and they were just using it through the power of their mind, and it seemed like it was a type of hologram of some sort.
I see those a lot there, like the hologram kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I keep seeing too. I keep seeing a hologram, light and colors and sacred geometry. It was almost like they were showing us some sort of a template. Like, okay, Powers, you're ready now. We're going to show you your template. It was a template that I think they were hoping you would remember so that you can utilize it and integrate it into a computer program.
Wish I remembered the template.
I'm kind of seeing like flashes of it, but I'm going to have to like draw it out or something. Because I'm seeing flashes of it, but I can't like depict it to you guys yet, because obviously we're not equipped here on Earth to have telepathic communication yet, which we're going to hopefully talk about later. But I'm seeing it was kind of almost like a coming of age for you, like, oh, Powers is now fully awakened to who he is, and I think this has something to do with this healing thing that you and Christie are going to be doing together.
Wondering if that template was part of the healing technology.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yes, but it was kind of like as much of an Arcturian party that there could possibly be. I'm seeing like some glasses of effervescent energy, and I think they even gave some to us, even though we were there in etheric form, and and we're obviously still kind of human, but the glasses looked like crystal. It looked, but not like what you would find here on Earth. It was just like big chunks of crystal with liquid in it. So it was like there was crystal inside a crystal, but there was crystal in kind of an effervescent liquid form, and then crystal that was holding the glass, or that was holding the effervescent crystal. But it was both kind of the same thing, but it's kind of hard to describe.
It was the finest Arcturian champagne.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was. They were trying to make us feel at home. Arcturians are real good at that. They like to make us feel like, okay, we have a little bit of Earth even in Arcturus. There was our families kind of gathered around. They were it was kind of hard, I think, Powers, for you to comprehend because there were so many beings talking at once. And that's what happens with Arcturian Collective. Sometimes it's like, once you get more practice, you can discern like different voices, but I even have a hard time because sometimes it's like they're all saying something at once. I'm like, well, hold on. My Earth brain can't follow. I got Earth brain. So I think that was part of the reason why you don't remember a lot of the conversation, because there was so many chattering at once, and then there was my family, your family, Christie's families, and they were all super excited. And then there was a council of elders that showed up.
Oh.
Were they the overlords?
They're the elders. So they're not. I wouldn't call them overlords, but they're kind of like the council that's the highest council in Arcturus. So they look timeless, but you can tell that they're kind of above the rest of us because it's just mainly by their clothing, and their auras are bigger. They looked kind of like, maybe a little bit like Yoda. I don't know. I'm just seeing like elderly looking Arcturians that they're kind of small in stature. They don't have pointy ears like Yoda, but they have the wizened features. So far, is this corresponding with anything that you saw, Christie?
Yeah, I thought all this was on the ship, but it would make more sense that it was on Pitolla.
Yeah, it was on Pitolla. It wasn't on board. The ship took us to Pitolla. Yeah, I don't think they could have had it on the ship because we came in different ships. I'm just seeing, even though you sent out messages to various employees in Gaia, they didn't join us. They couldn't join us.
Yeah, no, they didn't go to that part. All of this, or did the elders initiate it? Or was it something that just would have happened anyway?
I think Powers, Guides, and Family initiated it. And then because, you and I are so close to him, and we're all part of, I think we're all kind of extended family anyway, we came on board. I think to help Powers to remember, because I think somehow his family knew that it was going to be difficult for him to remember.
Yeah, I got that message a lot.
Yeah, they just kept saying, oh, it's going to be difficult for him to remember, so we're glad you're here to help him remember. And honestly, I didn't remember because I think I wasn't sleeping well for a while, and my sleep quality hasn't been great. So I'm glad I'm able to access this through the records because it sounded like it was really fun, and I'm glad I get to see it now. So I think it was initiated by your higher self and your guides and your star family. And I think the elders was invited by them because obviously you're important to the elders just like all of us because we're on this big mission. So the elders always want to be, I guess, involved, to give, I guess, extended advice or to just show their support. I think they were giving out advice though. Not a whole lot, but they gave you a crystal that you energetically have even now, but it's energetic. And the crystal was kind of, it contains star codes that's supposed to help you remember the template. But you have to be able to access the crystal. So.
I missed that. You said it was to remember the template. Oh, the template. Gotcha. Okay, so I have this crystal within me, and that's what's going to help trigger my memory of the template, which is related to the healing technology. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, so I think they were trying to help you out. Because somehow your family was saying, oh, he's not going to remember, and the guide said, oh, no, we'll take care of it.
Cool.
There was some animals there, too. I'm seeing all kinds of animals, actually. And they kind of had it set up to where, even though it was kind of like an open field, it was very organic, and there were Arcturian animals that showed up. I think one of them used to be a being that you had a very close connection with.
Would that be the Waylo?
I think it's Waylo, yeah.
Is that like the name of like a particular being or like the species?
It was the personal name of the being.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Aw.
So that's one of that's
really excited to see us.
Yeah. Waylo was. I can't even really tell what Waylo looks like because it doesn't look like any creature here on Earth.
No, it was one of like the big mammals that helped kind of get through like the river. Like a really big, large, dark mammal with like very hairy neck area.
Yeah, I keep seeing kind of bear-like in a way, but not quite like a bear.
They're just like happy to help.
Almost like a cross between a bear and an elephant.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Cool.
Actually, elephant DNA came from Arcturus. Actually, ant DNA comes from Arcturus too. So we got the extremes, and we don't have the really pretty animals. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks cat-like or dog-like. I see like different bird-like creatures, but the animals in Arcturus, they're not super beautiful. They're very functional. Even the birds, they're not brightly plumed. But there's a beauty about them. I don't know how to describe it. It's
inner beauty.
Yeah, it's inner beauty. Yeah, because even sparrows are beautiful, right? So
yeah, harmony and peace there.
It seemed like all the animals showed up too, or at least quite a few different animals did. And
there was somewhere we were going that had like I never can remember if it's 122 steps or 123 steps. But it seems like that number is always really important.
I'm seeing 123.
Okay. I won't forget this time.
Yeah, it's 123. So, yeah, it was the staircase to the crystal structure.
Yeah.
It was like first we were out in the field and we were all like looking at the hologram, and your family was excitedly showing you the templates that they wanted you to remember, which the elders gave you the crystal within your head to help you remember. It was like when they handed you the crystal, it fused inside of you. It was kind of cool. And then I'm seeing we all afterwards walked up the 123 stairs to the crystal structure, and there was something we did there. Oh, that's what they were talking about, the healing.
Yeah.
Because that was a healing temple. Okay.
Oh, that's the healing part.
Yeah, that's the healing temple. So they were kind of reminding us the pods and stuff that they used for the healing. But they said that here on Earth we might have to energetically energetically create it. Over there it's energetic, yet it's physical. It's where they used to take the souls that used to be badly damaged, when they were getting processed through Arcturus in order to heal them. So this is very deep core level healing. So this is why they wanted to show you and Christie this, because this is what you two are going to be working on together.
Okay. Wow.
No, this is amazing stuff. I'm having a great time, and
So I remember they were showing me that like I had to be like I could only do the healing from from my astral body to somebody else's astral body, and it looked like just one of their chakra centers would light up, and then I would just kind of like hold my attention there on the chakra in their astral body until it like got peaceful or whatever, and then that person would have to like go sleep for a while, but then they would wake up healed.
But that's what the pods did. Yeah, the pods allowed the people to sleep for a long time. But obviously here on Earth, that's why they're saying it has to be energetic, because obviously we don't have pods that we're going to let people sleep in. But
Right. Well, we could.
although I do know somebody that has a healing egg. I'll have to send you her website, and she's here I think in your area actually. Yeah, so that might be something we might want to check out. But maybe all three of us can go together. It might be fun.
Yeah. Totally. So I was just wondering, like, how would I get in my astral body? Like, do I need to be sitting up and meditating, or laying down, or I don't know how all this is supposed to work?
Your guides are saying it doesn't matter. You
Okay.
can either be laying down or sitting up. They say whatever makes you feel get deeper into meditation.
Okay. So I do need to be meditating?
Yes.
Do they say any particular kind of meditation?
No, they say it will come to you. You'll get into that zone and it'll come to you. It doesn't need to be any particular process, but they say that you'll come up with your own process after a while.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I think this is very fascinating stuff. Let me see what happened the rest of the time. So we were all in the Crystal Temple. I think we all recognized the temple. I think we all worked. I think Christie and I worked it before. I don't think Powers did. Powers had to understand the mechanics, so that's why they brought him there too. And then it was time for us to say our goodbyes. So we went back down out of the temple, down to the steps, to the open field. We said goodbyes to everybody. We even say goodbye to Waylo. Waylo was kind of sad. You and Waylo were great friends. Waylo used to help you out a lot when you were still in Arcturus. And then you had to say goodbye to your star family, and then we all went back through the portal. You guys, I left first. You guys left after me. We all ended up back in our beds, and unfortunately I didn't remember it, so I have to, Christy sounds like she remembered the most out of the three of us, but I knew something happened that night because I felt different when I woke up.
Do we need to close that portal?
Yeah.
Anyway.
We were worried we left it open.
I think the portal closed on its own.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the guides are saying not to worry about the portal. They closed it for us.
Okay, good.
They know we're still in human form and that we don't know everything and we forget things. So normally, if we were still in our Arcturian form, we would remember. But they closed it for us. They looked out for us. So no, the portal's still not open. Powers, it sounds like you received a beautiful gift that night.
Yeah, so it's embedded energetically into my head. It'll be unlocking as I go through this next part of the journey, which actually leads right into the next questions, which are all around this healing work. Are we supposed to, are they saying we can get started on this right away, or is this something that develops over time? I guess we're just trying to figure out the timing aspect.
They're saying you're going to start the groundwork now, but it may take a while to develop. And I'm trying to see what kind of a timeline they're talking about. Let me check with the guides. We all have the same guides, so it's pretty easy. Oh wow, they're saying within a year.
Yeah, it felt soon.
Yeah, no, I was thinking 5 years out, but they're saying no, it's within a year. So that's.
Wow. Because I did have a moment where I saw myself I maybe a couple years in the future, at Gaia, and there were a lot of people laying around. They were kind of waking up out of sleep. And I saw Jason, one of our producers, and he said, "Oh, you look like you're getting a massive download," because my eyes were fluttering. And then he said, "What's happening? Tell me what's happening and describe it." And I started describing everything that was happening there in the future. And he said, "Oh, you're just peeking through the past." And he somehow realized that I was several years in the past. And he said, "Tell my past self I said hello, and it just keeps getting better."
Oh, that's so sweet. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I wonder if maybe Gaia is going to eventually develop some sort of healing center. That's going to be an offshoot to the media production company.
That's quite possible, given what Yurka really I think he's building a lab here in the building, working on telomeres and other life extension and healing technologies. So that would not surprise me.
That's what I'm seeing. So maybe, but I keep seeing something out west too. So I don't know if they're going to create another healing center out west. Maybe that's what it was.
Like in Hawaii?
Yeah, or I think yeah, Hawaii would be a great place. It would be definitely. Yeah, I do see some sort of a healing center that's going to be developed, and it's going to be wildly popular.
The crowds, yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean, like wildly popular. I mean, like it's going to be an adjunct to the Gaia production shows, but it's going to be it's like almost like the shows help people awaken, but then you got to help people heal.
Well, that makes sense because we were shown like crowds of people, and part of what I'm supposed to work on is like, scanning the crowds, and I don't even know what that means, and scanning the crowds and making sure that I'm monitoring, I think, Christie's energy while she's doing the work with some kind of technology, and so I'm just trying to envision, like, if we're supposed to be starting this in as soon as a year, what should I be doing? How am I going to be scanning these crowds? What kind of technology? Will I be writing this software myself, or is it something that is here and I just fit it to this purpose? I guess I just have so many questions about how I fit into the healing. Like Christie sees how she does the healing and probably has a pretty good idea of how that works, but I'm still kind of questioning.
I understand your questions. So it looks like you're looking for some direction. Let me ask your guides. Okay, they're saying this is going to be software that you'll be developing yourself that's going to be applied to some sort of hardware, but that you're going to be receiving assistance. So are you mainly a software guy or a hardware? Software. Yeah. So you're going to get some assistance from some hardware people that can help develop the hardware.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're going to be at Gaia or they're going to be maybe some engineers that you're going to contract with outside.
Okay.
I have a feeling there's going to be a combination of both. But you're going to come up with the initial structure or format of how this thing is going to be developed, at least the software end of it. They say not to worry about the hardware. There's going to be people that can help you with that. It's almost like a scanner of some sort.
Is it like the BioWell? We have a group in-house that is developing like a health scanner device. I wonder if I was supposed to work with them. They do the hardware and they have the software as well.
But you're supposed to be adding to the software.
So I would be enhancing it somehow to fit this particular healing modality.
Hence the templates that were embedded in your memory.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so I think that's why they're saying you're going to get assistance from others, so it won't be just you, but somehow you have a key component that's going to make it all work.
Okay, this is making more sense now. So it's a scanner for the people, not necessarily for Christie. I guess I was thinking it was like to monitor her while she was doing the healing, but maybe it's to monitor the people's healing?
Yeah, it's to monitor their progress, yeah. I don't think it has much to do with Christie, unless there's an option on it to maybe to help gauge, when maybe she's getting tired or run down, so you don't overextend her energy.
Right.
I don't feel like you need a machine to do that.
I don't think so either, but yeah, I don't know. It might be more on an energetic level, like okay, Christie's done,
Well, I think also what led me down that path is they were very specific, and they said she is to do the work for no more than 1 hour at a time, and then followed by rest. And so I wasn't sure if that meant like we're supposed to be monitoring her health for that. But it sounds like the scanner is for the people's healing progress. But after 1 hour, Christie's done, and then I just don't know if she's like able to do more that day, if she just needs a brief rest and a cup of coffee and she's good to go, or it's like no, 1 hour a day max. I guess that was some.
I think she'll be able to do more than one healing a day, but she has to space it out.
Okay, yep, that makes sense.
Christie has to be very careful because she doesn't want to overextend herself, because then it starts impacting her energy field and her health.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I'm acutely aware of. Now, before we leave the total topic of the healing, I guess just as far as do they show us like this extending out over time? Like I had this question about linear periods of time. Does this go on for years and years that we're doing these healings, or does this migrate or sort of evolve into something like totally different as we get more advanced? I guess, is there any clarity in that area?
Let me check with the guides and with the records. They're saying it's going to evolve.
Okay.
Christie won't have to do so much of it energetically. The technology is going to catch up. That's what they keep showing me. So eventually there'll be machinery that'll do a lot of the work that she'll be doing energetically, but and she'll be monitoring that equipment, so she won't have to utilize so much of her own energy.
Great. Okay.
Well, I think it came up in my last reading with you too, Debbie. I think she was my daughter in the life that I had in the wild, or no, I was her daughter, and I took an early exit point in that life. But I think I've known her in several different lives, and I think she's going to be my daughter in this life. Just kind of wondering, like, why she's not talking to me as much. Does she have a particular birth date that's, like, really important to her? Because I know that is kind of important, but it just puts a lot of urgency on me right now.
I'm trying to see what she's what she's showing me anyway. She's not really talking in any kind of words. So she's saying that sometimes this is something that I think happened in the past between you two, that you would have a lot of miscommunications. Like for some reason, she's saying you had miscommunications in the past. And if you would have been, her daughter, I could see how that could happen. Like, moms and daughters always kind of, get into conflict with one another, especially on Earth. Okay. I don't think it happens so much in Arcturus, but she says that she will be communicating with you. Okay, more directly.
She knows I'm open to that.
As far as her birth date, for some reason the guides are showing me around July. Maybe because that's the time when the veil between Arcturus and Earth is the thinnest. Maybe mid-July.
July of 2020?
Like in 9 months from now?
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know when she's coming, honestly, but... it could be 9 months from now. But,
that is exactly 9 months from now.
I mean, when you get pregnant anyway, but I'm seeing for some reason somewhere around... It's either July or October. I don't know why. I just see it July or October, so I don't know how that's going to play out, but I think she might want to be born around July. So she's either going to be a Cancer or a Leo, if that's the case. She's going to come and do really big healing work. That's going to be her mission. What you're doing is you're starting the process, and she's going to be expanding it.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, what we're able to do on a one-on-one basis, she'll be able to do on like a massive scale.
Like she's going to be healing the masses. I don't know how far Gaia is going to expand, but I have a feeling she's going to be part of that expansion at some point. She's going to be showing her gifts very early on. So she's not going to be one of those kids that's going to be clueless, and then maybe when they're in their early adulthood they might remember something. She's going to remember right away.
Awesome.
Can she give us an example of? We were told that her gifts would blow our minds, and I'm just wondering if she could give us an example of something that she would do that would just blow our minds.
She says right now that it takes us a while to heal people. She'll be able to heal people in 15 minutes or less, completely heal them. And she says that she'll start to get famous for being such almost like John of God level, but she doesn't really want any of the fame. She doesn't want to abuse, her opportunity to heal. She says she wants to stay humble and she doesn't want any notoriety, but she's going to get famous regardless. But she says she knows how to handle that. But she says her gifts are going to be so amazing that it's going to be almost like Jesus level. Like be able to touch somebody and then within a few minutes they're healed.
That is going to blow people's minds.
She was, I think, in Arcturus, even more so than Christie and I, she was a very high vibrational healer. Christie and I were kind of more like ambassadors. We kind of did the ambassadorial thing, but Crystal is an even more ancient soul than either one of us, or any of us actually. But she's choosing to come to Earth because she's realizing that people are needing massive healing quickly, and we don't have the time anymore to do years and years and years of clearing and and healing and, patching up people's DNAs. So she's feeling the urgency as well. So that's why she's choosing to incarnate.
I'm definitely feeling that urgency for her to come through.
Yeah, she's feeling the urgency too. She says things have been kind of dragging out on Earth, and it's time to get people ready for Ascension. We can't bring all the old stuff with us to fifth dimension. That's the problem. And there's still a lot of old stuff to clear. So that's why she's feeling like, well, I'm going to have to hurry up and incarnate. So whenever, Christie's ready to have a baby, I'm coming in, so.
When she says, like, hurry up, does she mean, like, literally, like, this year, like, this July, or is she just saying, like, in the next couple of years? Like,
I'm feeling like it's more within the next couple of years. I'm not seeing that she's saying that, oh, I got to come definitely next July. So hurry up and, get impregnated. No, I think it's going to be like a couple of years out, maybe even 3 years out. So there's a lot that can happen in 3 years. So she's going to be one of those kids that she'll get born, and she's going to be like those crystal children that knows already right away what she's going to be doing, who she is, where she came from. She's going to blow your guys' mind that way. She'll talk about Pitolla, and we're going to be, and you guys are going to be amazed, like, how does she know this? So, she's only 3 years old and she's talking about this planet, so yeah, she's going to be like a wonder kid. And actually, a lot of the young kids, like even like the 18-year-olds I do readings for, they're freaking amazing. I mean, they got their gifts all online, ready to go out. They're ready to do the work. So I mean, and these younger kids are going to be even more like that.
Well,
did she want the 2 dots over the Y in her name?
She says it doesn't matter.
Can you do Akashic Records readings for people before they incarnate? We wondered if she would like that and if it would be beneficial for us.
Actually, as far as the Akashic Records rules, I'm not really supposed to do readings for people that are under the age of 18. So that's actually an Akashic Records rule. So I can't do readings for people that are 12 or people that are 3. So I really can't do reading for somebody that hasn't even been born yet. I mean, I can communicate with her energy and her soul, but because there's so many decisions yet to be made, I don't know how things are going to play out. So I really can't do a reading for her. I don't think it really that matters, because we already know who she is, and we know that she's had lifetimes on Earth before, so she's very familiar with Earth. I think she's had less lifetimes than Christie, though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Earth lifetimes, yeah, but she's been around for longer than I guess all of us, as far as just
as a soul. She's part of that Council of Elders.
Oh, jeez. Well, wow.
But so I think she was there during our get together.
Okay. Oh, great. Wow. She was there. Oh, for my birthday she came out. Okay. Oh, great. Wow. She was there. Oh, for my birthday she came out.
Yeah, she came out. Yeah, she was there.
I don't know if she acknowledges this, but I felt very strongly during my recent ayahuasca ceremony that Crystal was one of my guides for several hours during that period. I don't know if she's like.
Oh yeah, she said she was there. Yeah, she said she was there. She was helping to guide you. Yeah, if you're getting like somebody that's from the Arcturian Council of Elders, that's like very high level soul.
Well, and this brings me back to the why. Christie's question about the why with the 2 dots over it. That came to me just sort of in my ceremony as well, and we only both just discovered like in the last day that's like some Arcturian secret code that they only give to those that they honor and respect among them. Like they gave it to us, and I was telling Christie, I feel like we're celebrities now. We get this secret code that they only save for certain occasions. Now we're told Crystal's a member of the Elders, and I'm trying to process this, and it's still blowing my mind every day that I learn the new information.
Oh no, I think you guys are doing awesome downloading information. I'm amazed at how much both of you have progressed since just since our last readings together. So yeah, the 2 dots over the Y. She says you can call her that. She said a lot of Earth people probably won't understand it, but that's okay, But unless you're from Germany or something, But she says it's fine, with or without it. But I think they were just showing you that because that is 2 dots is actually in the Mayan calendar. 2 dots represents 2, the number 2.
Oh, okay.
There's something about the 2 dots. It's part of, and I think I may have seen it too during a DMT session I had. I saw like a bunch of Arcturian language and writing, and there was a lot of dots that were used in. It was kind of like slashes and dots. That's what I saw a lot of. So it's part of their language.
But the 2 dots in my ceremony, the 2 dots were part of a trinity. So those were the 2, and then the whole word was the 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was getting a trinity connection at the time, but
no, I think you're probably more correct than. But I'm just seeing it's. I'm just kind of relaying it to what I keep seeing. The 2 and then crystal would make 3.
Right. That's okay. Wow. Okay, it's all fitting together. But it also being just a code for honor and respect that they give to others was really a gift that
I'm glad I was there. I don't remember it. Now I remember it, but I'm glad I was there with you guys because it sounded like it was a great time. Nice to be back home, at least for a little bit.
Yeah. So just the last 3 on our list here. Recently, I think we had received in part of this download that the food that we eat is not as consequential as long as your vibration remains high while consuming that food.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the Arcturian book, they said that there are foods that retard your vibration or keep it from going up, and they cite animal life forms, sugars, and white flours. And so I was kind of just wondering if they could clarify, are we supposed to avoid these because it's not as good for us? Or it actually doesn't matter as long as your vibration remains high when you're eating. Do they have any clarity there?
Yes, let me ask them. Hang on. They're saying when that book was written, it was written in the 1980s. And so the vibration was lower. So they were using that as a specific guideline because that was the state of consciousness during that time. But they say what they told you about foods being of no consequence is actually correct for this timeline.
Oh, that's good to know. Would be sad if I couldn't have any seafood.
Yeah, I'm kind of like this. I'm the same with you guys. There's just like certain foods I don't want to give up, and coffee's one of them. Chocolate's another. No, they say that a lot of this focus on food is just wasting. It's wasting people's energies on other things that they could be focused on. They say maybe for some starseeds, particularly those of Pleiadian and Lyran genetics, it might be more beneficial for them, but for Arcturians, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, because we've got some very, very vocal friends that are just like, do not eat animals. You're causing them pain and torturing them, and it's terrible for them. So I think that's probably meant for their sort of...
That's their evolution. It's not necessarily ours.
Okay, that's definitely clarification. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for that.
All right, no more energy waste on that.
Let's not burn. And then I guess I just have this question as far as like astral travel. I'm always jealous of Christie when she's like, yeah, you remember we were in like Maya last night and we saw this tan wall. I'm like, darn, I don't remember that. But you're like, you were there. I'm like, so I just was wondering if they have any. I've been reading about astral travel recall, but there's so many different techniques. I wonder if they had anything that was like specific that, hey, for powers, this is what'll help you remember these, so you guys can actually share that memory the next day, like something along those lines.
I'll share what helped me, and maybe that'll help you. If I set an intention, and it's really simple. I mean, this was I think an astral travel I did. I set an intention that I was going to astral travel to help my teacher cure her headaches. Okay, so I knew I had to return to the ship where her body was in inanimate suspension. I set the intention that I was going to remember everything that happened, and I did. I remembered every single part of when we went to the first ship, and then she got the coordinates, and then we went to the second ship, and I remember that she was punching some numbers on some sort of a pod, and I didn't really do much of anything except just observe. When I woke up, my friend called me and said, "What in the heck did you and Piglet do? I don't have any headaches today. This is my first day in months. I don't have a massive headache." She had a car accident, had a concussion, and she was fine ever since then, which was very bizarre. But I would say just set the intention that you're going to, so maybe you and Christie might make an agreement, like, Christie might say, "Hey, Powers, I think I'm going to astral travel tonight." So then you can just set the intention that when Christie and you astral travel, that you're going to remember more of it.
I guess I've literally set that intention like every night for the past week that I'm going to remember our travels together, and it just hasn't worked. So I can just keep trying that. I wondered if they had anything more.
Yeah, during the download they said something about like relating it to technology would help him remember. So like I was like in the dream I was trying to give him like, "Hey, remember this red car?" or "Hey, remember this." But then when we like went to Maya, like the only technology I had was a piece of paper, and they were like, "Yeah, that's the technology."
Yeah, Maya is not high technology. I know. Yeah, no, that's funny because Maya, I mean, they basically do a lot of writing there. They don't have any technology. So I'm kind of laughing because I've seen that too about Maya. But yeah, Powers, I think a lot of it will be probably expanding on your clair abilities. There's classes, I think. I think you and I talked about that before. I don't know if you had an opportunity to look into any of those classes. I don't even know if she's offering them anymore, the teacher I'm thinking of. But I know there's like psychic circles where you can learn to, and I don't know if they have any in Boulder or anything. I might have to do some research on that. But
I did go to one after you mentioned it, and it was kind of like a 101. It was just kind of like very, very, very basic. There's another one on NDEs coming up this weekend. But I also found a channeling course, which I think all those things will help in that area. I just wondered if there was something very specific that they were like, "Oh, for you, like, yeah, like it was technology that they told Christie, like, yeah, associated with technology, then he'll remember." Just that.
Yeah, I would say probably when you're in dream time, okay, try to see if you can recognize at least one thing. Like something that's really recognizable, even if it's a color or if it's somebody's shoe or I know it sounds very basic, but that I think will be the key to you remembering everything else.
Okay.
Is there any reason that I do remember so well? Is that like part of like training from Arcturus or?
The reason why you and I remember better is because we have different skill sets than Powers. So you and I are more communicators, healers / writers / communicators. So intuitive level work comes easier for us than Powers, who's more left-brained.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
But it's not that you can't develop it. I think you can. I think it's just going to be a little more challenging for you. And I would say out of the three of us, I think Christie actually has the best recall, but I also have decent recall if I'm taking good care of my physical vehicle. But yeah, I would say, try to just focus on remembering one thing. And that one thing is going to, like, I think in my case, what I was trying to remember was the pod. Like, once I remembered the pod, everything else fell into place. So maybe that's what Christie meant by technology.
Yeah, I'll just keep working on that then. And then I guess the last question we had here was just, I know we're over an hour.
So, like, they did say, like, several times that we are, like, merged. They mean, like, all Arcturians are merged, or, like, what do they mean?
When I was doing the tensor stuff, that was what was coming to me, too, that we're all connected.
Yeah.
But they're using tensor equation in order to give a format to how we're connected. And it's kind of linear, but it's kind of not. I don't know how to describe it. But there is a linear process to it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I think
it covers a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah, I felt like I was on this big journey with both of you. So
You were.
You were.
I was literally, yeah. No, I was there. I was there in the 28th too. So no, I'm really happy to do this reading for both of you, and thank you so much for the opportunity because it helped me as well. And I just want to wish both of you a lot of love and success with the big work you're going to be doing with all the healing and.
For taking so much care in delivering all those details. That was even more detailed than I was even expecting. So I'm so excited to re-listen to this and remember more. I just think the more you know and the more you recall, like it'll just build on itself, and that'll be its own. It'll come to me more and more over time, and obviously this work that we're setting out to do, and the whole West Coast stuff, and the Hawaii connections, and I think these BioWell people that do these energy scanners are somehow related, and so it's all like actually starting to make a little bit of sense how to move forward with it. So.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think this is super exciting, and I'm glad to be part of the process. So thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, sounds good.
Good night, Debbie.
Good night.